check out my new bracelet, folks. Check that out. Ain't that cool? It's got a buckle right here if I want to take it off. I can spin it around, wear the buckle on top, but I like to wear it on the bottom best because I can reach it there. My son made that for me out of paracord. And he said, you know, if I was ever in an apocalyptic event, I can unravel this, you know, if I want. I got some sentimental value, probably never will, but I could if I needed a rope or a cord, and that'll extend about 8 feet, he said. And you can use it for whatever. It doesn't have to be an apocalyptic event. I mean, you know, we all know, I mean, sometimes you got to tie a bitch up. Well, welcome back again, folks. Still got the old Esteban guitar up here. I think the last time I left you off, we had put the bridge doctor in it, and the only thing I've done is came by here and tightened it just a little bit more. It's getting pretty tight, and it's flat. I mean, it took nearly all of the belly out of this thing. Maybe I can bring it over there and show you. If you remember what a belly it had before, yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. I think you can. It's just dang near perfectly flat right now. And today we're going to put that abalone dot, so they're calling it in the directions. I'm going to put that abalone dot in there, string it back up and start setting it up. And I want to do some work on this nut. The nut action, first fret action's a bit high. So we're going to take them down. It's on every string. So let's do it. Now that dot should fit in that hole without any problems whatsoever. And then we'll run a little sandpaper over it, smooth it out if need be. One of the things, you got to glue that in. The directions say to glue it in. So what I did was, you know, if you get glue, that screw in, and you ever want to take that thing out or need to work on it, it's going to be glued in. You know, we don't want that. So I've got a tiny piece of wax paper in there over top of the screw, and I have put Teflon tape on the back side of this dot, so that shouldn't stick. The only thing that should stick is the outer portions of the dot itself. And I will use a thick CA glue for this, and just a tiny little drop will serve our purpose. That was a bubble. There's another bubble. Getting bubbles, not glue. There comes the glue. Yes, sir. That's all it'll take right there. I want to get the Teflon tape side of the thing. We'll have a little bit of sanding to do. Not very much, I don't think. It's a little bit high on the side here, but it's in there pretty solid. And we'll just let that glue set up. That's a thick glue, so it's going to take a little bit longer to set up, and I don't have accelerator to spray on it. I wouldn't spray it on it if I had it. But after it sets up, I'll sand it down flush with the bridge. So I got the strings on, got it up to pitch, and I got nut files out here. And I had the feeler's gauge, but they just got away. And you can see here, I got 18 thousandths here. And you can see that doesn't even touch hardly any, it doesn't touch any of the strings. Check that out. Doesn't even touch the strings. So we're going to bring that nut action down. I'm going to start with this first one here, and I'll just show you what I'm doing. I've got the proper nut files out here for each. That's tusk, I think. Proper nut file out for each gauge of string. Some people, I see a lot of people use the same file for all of them. I guess you can do that, but it's got to come way more. But I like to use the right file, you know, for the job, and have that nut slot to fit the string exactly. These nut files, I mean, they go in short order. They take care of the problem. So this won't take very long. It's got to come some more, believe it or not. Wow. I knew it was high nut action. Didn't realize it was that high though. Already taken a whole bunch off of it. We're going to take some more. Like I say, these files are fast. You don't want to... The guitar should be up to pitch when you do this too. There we go. Perfect. Doesn't lift the string, it just goes under there, and that's all. So that's what I'm doing. I won't bore you too much with this, but there again, you want to file in the direction of the peg head that this string is going to go toward. I might have to knock a little bit off the top of this nut. That's it. Anyways, I gotta get another file. I don't have the file out for this one. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. And then I'll take a file and just, when we take the strings off, before I put the new ones on, just knock the entire top off the nut so the strings doesn't set down in those slots like that. We don't want to, we can't have that. That'll never do. Okay, I'll show you here now. I've got them all 6 done. See, that just goes under there. It doesn't lift the strings. It does touch them, but it's not lifting them. See that? Perfectly filed nut. I gotta knock the top of it off a little bit, but that's no biggie. Now we need to check neck relief and start setting the action with these old strings. So hold on, I'll line you up for that. And you all know we like to see 12 thousandths neck relief. That's just a good number. That gives the strings plenty of room to move and vibrate without buzzing. Let's see, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to note the thing. Truss rod, I'm going to note it on the 17th fret. And we're going to check, let's make sure I have a 12 here. I do. Check here. Oh man, that's pretty good. Lifts the string a little bit. That is dead on the money on that fret right there. And just so one of those will match up. Dead on the money on all 3 of those. That just goes under there and touches the string a little bit. I'm going to leave that alone, the truss rod, because we still got to set the action back here. So let's read it and get geared up for that. Now we want to measure this action in thousandths right now. Boy, it's high too. And the reason I want to measure it in thousandths, because it's just easier. You know, however much we want this strings to come down here at the 12th fret, said it before, if we want this to drop 20 thousandths lower than it is right now at the 12th fret, that means we need to take 40 thousandths off the saddle to make that happen. So I like to do this in thousandths. And it's 120 thousandths. Good Lord, man. 120 thousandths high on the bass E string. The high E string, it's about 110 thousandths. My God, that's high. And we'll go with this reading up here. 120, right on the money. We'd like to see that down to about 80 thousandths. That's a difference of 40 thousandths, folks. That means we're going to have to take 80 thousandths off of the saddle, and I don't think we've got that much. I don't think so. That's not right. I forgot about that little thing on the side. .151.5. 151 thousandths. Okay, minus 80. Yeah, we should have enough. That's gonna be an awful lot of saddle to remove from there, though. So I'm going to shut the camera off, take the saddle out, and measure. What did I say? 80 thousandths, I guess. Wow, we want this to come down 40 thousandths. Yeah, we're going to take 80 thousandths off of that. Okay, let's do it, man. Good Lord, that's a lot of saddle to remove. Hold on. Now, it just so happens to be that my feelers gauge, all the gauges in this set together, are 75 thousandths. So I'm going to go with that instead of 80, because that's an awful lot of material to remove. If I have to remove more, I will later, but I just got them clamped down. 75 thousandths, there's what you see. And I'm just going to hold the saddle up here like so, and draw it, mark it at 75 thousandths. I've showed you all this before, and yeah, and if you can see that tiny little pencil line on there, that's 75 thousandths from here up to the pencil line. I can't see the camera to tell if you can see that or not. Yeah, there, I think you can see it. So I'm going to probably use a belt sander on this, because that's an awful lot. Hold on. Okay, so I didn't want to drag you through all that again. I just did the usual. Set the belt sander up here. I use those funky vice grips. You've seen me use them a million times. Clipped them in the vice grips. Got my dust removing sucking device up here that I was afraid somebody's going to steal that before I can get a patent on it. That's why. But anyway, I've got plenty of videos of doing that. Grinding down saddles and nuts and stuff. You can look at those if you want to really see it. I took 80 thousandths off of this saddle back here. We were at 120 thousandths on the action on the base side, and we're shooting 480. Oh, I broke a string too, so there's not as much stress as there will be with all 6 strings on it. But we are at 70 thousandths at the 12th fret on the base E. We're at 70 thousandths. Now with one more string on this, it's going to put more stress on it and cause the action to come a little bit higher, and it'll probably land right on 80. It should, because that's what we shot for. 60 thousandths on the high E string. Almost 70. Not, you could probably call that 70 maybe. It's closer to 60. Like I say, one more string is going to put more stress on this guitar, and that's going to cause the action to raise. I just want to check the neck relief again real quick, and make sure we're still at 12. And if that's the case, then I'll take all the strings off of it, and we'll polish the frets and what? Now see, that's more like 10 thousandths now, but it's because that string broke. There's not as much stress on the thing right now. Polish the frets and oil the board, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, it goes under there. You can probably hear it lifting the string when I pull it out. But that's okay. When we get all the strings on it, that will pull, like I say, more stress into the thing, and it will raise that. So I'm going to leave the truss rod alone. I checked it before, by the way. It does work. And it's tuned a wee little bit higher than normal because the string broke, so I could get more stress on it. So let me bring you back in a few minutes when I get the old strings off of it now. You don't have near the saddle it had before, but we knew that was going to happen. And we'll do the frets and oil the board. Now you've seen me do this a bunch of times too. I'm just using the semi-chrome polish and polishing these frets. Like I say, we're not going to do any fret work on this. I talked to the owner. I said it needs it, or it's going to need it, you know, before very much longer. And he wanted me to try to keep the cost down, and I understand that, so that's what I'm doing. I think it'll play okay with these frets for, you know, a pretty good while yet before it needs a fret job. But they were pretty bad. First, second, and third, and the fourth a little bit. Pretty good dents in them. I don't think they'll be a problem for, like I say, quite a while yet. And it'll save him, you know, quite a lot of money too on this. I certainly understand we not want to put a whole lot into it. Anyways, you've seen me do this enough times. I just wanted to show you I was polishing the frets, and then I'm going to linseed oil this board. It is dry city, man. And I meant to say, all the time I was working on the guitar that was ahead of this one, the Echo Web, that whole time I was working on that guitar, this one was getting humidified the entire time, because it was so dried out when it came. I got it up to maintain 50% inside the guitar. That was before I started the repairs. It may have dropped a little bit since then. I'm going to check it again tonight. Put the humidity gauge in there and block the sound hole off. Just leave it overnight and see what it reads tomorrow. But that's what's going on. I'll bring you back when I get ready to put the linseed oil to it. Oil the board. Alright, showed you this before. We're going to show you again. Look how dry that board is. I hope that shows up in there. Here we go, Linseed City. You can see how that is coagulated around the bottle top. That's going to seal that board, folks. It's going to seal it and never allow anything from the outer world, as we know it, to get in. Oh man, I don't even have enough to... Be very careful and not spill the linseed oil. Linseed oil. I'm going to rub it on. Leave it for I like to leave it from 3 to 5 minutes. And rub it off. And dispose of your towels very smartly. This stuff spontaneously combusts. I read that on the bottle, didn't believe it. And a lot of you guys pointed out and even sent me links to videos of people that had made it happen. So I'm a believer now. And I dispose of my towels very carefully. Funny, now that I know how it works, I can actually feel heat through this as I'm rubbing this on here. Feel a tiny bit of heat through the towel. Spontaneous combustion. Boy, that board is dry, man. Let me get the lid back on this shit before something bad happens. I get asked a lot, boiled or raw, unboiled. What kind of linseed oil should I use? It doesn't matter if it's boiled or not. I need a clean towel. Doesn't matter if it's boiled or unboiled or raw or whatever. It all solidifies and does the same job we want it to do here. So I'm going to let that dry 3 to 5 minutes, and no need in keeping you here while it happens. I just wanted to show you that and talk about it a little bit. Hold on. So I kind of figured on wrapping this thing up on this video, but I don't know how long the video's going there again. So I'm going to do one more video. On the next video, it's already basically set up. But on the next video, we'll put the new strings on. He's got elixirs here. Polyweb, 13 to 56. Wow, that's awful heavy for that guitar. But if that's what he wants on it, that's what's going on there. Next video, we'll put those new strings on. Check the setup again, because that's a heavier gauge string than what I set it up for. And it's a soft guitar. I mean, you can have it in tune. If it breaks the string, the entire thing goes out of tune. It's really soft. It's not really stable. But we'll put the next video, we'll put the strings on it, check the setup, adjust whatever we got to do to it, and then we'll compare it to what it sounded like before I put that bridge doctor in there. And this bridge is funky, man. I mean, everything about the whole guitar is crooked here or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the holes are off or the whole saddle's off, something. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you on the next one, and you can compare before the bridge doctor and after it and see what you like best. Cheers. Thanks for watching. See you then on there. Sometimes you got to tie a bitch up. Woo! The boogity ball.